How do everyone? It's me, Taku, back again with some more anime reviews because all the anime are ending this season. It's kind of sad, in all honesty. I really liked every single series that I'm mentioning, or at least I'm making videos on. Like, Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. So this series, this is one of the very top contenders for the season of anime. And it ended. Yeah, it's done, and it ended yesterday. And I had to get my thoughts on it because I didn't really talk, well, I said it last time with Zombie Land, but I didn't really mention too much about how much I feel about the series, so we'll talk about the last episode and then the series overall, like last time. So, episode 13, like it was not 12, the usual number, but episode 13, me and my friend were discussing, right, about how it sort of ended abruptly, and I kind of see where we're going with it, or where my friend was. And I can sort of agree, I can somewhat agree. I can see how the ending kind of felt like a little bit kind of because, like, first of all, they ended on such a huge cliffhanger note with Kaede regaining her memory. So I was like, oh shit, how the hell is this gonna happen, or how's it gonna work? And then it was somewhat about Kaede, and then it was somewhat about Sakura, and then it was somehow about Shoko, then it was about Mai and Sakura, and then it was just like, okay, we're good with it, with Kaede, you know? That's sort of how it felt like. So yeah, like, you know, I like how we see Sakura very depressed and sort of like sorting out his feelings with how Kaede is basically gone / dead or something like that, right? You know, the Kaede he spent with was an entirely different person in existence, and now she's just gone. That's it. We just had to accept it. And then there's not even like too much interaction with him and Kaede, sort of sorting these feelings out. Kaede does read the notebook, so she sort of gets a gist of like the time that she's lost, or the time that the other Kaede spent with Sakura, which is really nice, I guess. But like the only interactions they ever had with Kaede and Sakura was like, oh, you regained your memories, are you okay? I'm going to the bathroom. And then it's like, you know, oh, I have a girlfriend, you like pandas, and then towards the end she leaves the hospital, and that was it. And then it's just like, it feels sort of thing like this is such a huge like I personally thought that the sister arc in Kaede was pretty cool, and like how she sort of, you know, grew to change herself, and then only in the end to have her memories come back, and then the whole existence is forgotten, is really tragic. And of course you see a lot of Sakura being really depressed about it, which is awesome as well, or not awesome, but it works in terms of the story. It was just sort of like, I don't know, I don't feel 100% resolved with this yet. Like, if we get a second season, then I want to see some more, like, how does, like, Kaede deal with it? How does Sakura deal with it? Well, Sakura, of course, accepted it, but, like, you know, I want to see, like, how people are going to deal with how Kaede is basically a different person now, right? It's just, like, really weird, because with all the other characters in the series and how Sakura helped them out, we sort of see some resolution and stuff like that. And here, in this arc with Kaede, we just sort of see Sakura like, okay, Kaide's gone, she lived a happy life, and, you know, my sister's back, essentially, right? Like, I don't know, it just feels sort of, like, unfulfilled for me, which hopefully we'll see more potential for another season or whatever, who knows. So that's all the Kaede stuff. And then all the Shoko stuff. So Shoko all of a sudden shows up out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what? Like, the older one, not the middle school one, the older one shows up and helps out Sakura. I'm just like, okay. And then she leaves, and then I'm just like, what? And then it becomes a huge thing about Sakura being depressed, and then sort of like, you know, Mai and Sakura sort of like conflicting each other because Mai wasn't able to help Sakura when he needed help the most. And then Sakura was being all depressed and sort of like really different towards Mai, and just like, you know, dealing with Kaede and stuff. And it became a whole like relationship thing, which was really nice in the end because I thought they were gonna kiss and they didn't, because of course Mai, you know, my best girl, whatever. And then what happened after that? And then that was it. And it was like, this feels kind of weird. So of course it's very not resolved in a way, because if you guys don't know, there is a movie announced for the Rascal series, right? Or the Bunny Girl Senpai series. So it's slated for, I don't know what it's slated for, but they announced it like way before when in the series. And it's supposed to deal with Shoko, so we'll talk about that overall afterwards, the whole series review. But episode 12, it was good, but then it feels like it ended abruptly, and like sort of with Kaede's arc, I'm not so fulfilled yet. Like, you know, I feel like there's some resolution that needs to work out, or like, you know, we need to see how this works out, because everyone's just accepting that Kaede changed, but we need to see how this is gonna be a thing, right? Shoko, that's the whole movie thing, right? She's gonna get her own thing in the movie. Mai and Sakuta, I thought that the conflict was really nice that they had in this episode. It was really small, but you know, it was there, and it sort of brought their relationship more forward, which is really awesome. And as the ending, solid. I really like this series. It's like Bloom into You, Zombieland Saga, and this series. I love these series so much. It's like my top 3 for the season. So that's it for episode 12. Leave your thoughts and comments below if you have any thoughts or things I missed out. But we're gonna talk about the series overall. So Rascal does not dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. At first, when I saw the series, I thought I was like, I'm gonna watch it because why not? And I actually read the manga for it way back when, and I was super confused by it. I totally didn't like continue reading. I just like read like a few chapters, and I was like, it's okay. And then I watched the anime. And was, oh, this is the book or the series that I was reading, and then it was really good. Now, a lot of people I know mentioned that the reason that Bunny Girl Senpai is really good and all is because like the characters and the interactions and the dialogue between everyone. And if I had to comment on that, I personally think that it's sort of true, and I really do enjoy the characters a lot, because the story is just sort of like vague, you know? It's like, oh, puberty syndrome, no one knows what it is, it happens to these guys, or these characters, these high schoolers, and you know, that's it. And then you have the characters doing their own thing and solving their own problems, stuff like that. And it's, I guess if you think about it, it's basically it's solely focused on the characters. And honestly, the characters are like the best things of the series. I really enjoyed every single one of them. Sakuta, he reminds me, like everyone compares him to like Hachiman from Origaru, which I could see, but I still like him as a character. He's pretty awesome. My best girl, Bunny Girl, you know, just like love interest, and her first arc was pretty cool of how she was like vanishing and stuff. Koga was sort of there, but you know, she kind of like, she's still around. I like how they at least bring her or keep her around, and she sort of talks to Sakuta still, you know, they're friends somewhat, which is nice. Futaba, mad scientist girl, awesome, and her whole arc was really nice with like friendship, like her, like how she had to rely on her friend Sakuta and the other guy, I forget his name. Even I forget his name, the Sakuta's male friend, who's like, you know, there sometimes, but he's not like totally like main focus, you know, he's just there from the part-time job, or when he's helping out Futaba in that arc, which is really nice. So like, you know, he still gets somewhat development. And then there's also Nonoka, my sister, which was really off, but I mean, like, it's my little sister, which really gave into like a sort of sibling conflict, which is really awesome. And then Kaede, freaking Kaede, more sibling conflict, and you know, how she disappeared and shit. Like, oh my goodness, that's a little bit like, you know, I need some resolution for that. And then Shoko, which is like, we'll see what's her deal in the movie, right? And I have a theory about that also. We'll talk about that afterwards. But yeah, I mean, all the characters I really liked, and the characters really drove this like thing a lot more, because you're delving into like these characters going through puberty and like the whole like syndrome happening to them. And like, yeah, there's nothing else to the story. It's just about Sakuta helping these characters out and then dealing with their struggles and their traumas. And yeah, that's it, right? That's just like the synopsis of the series. It's just like Sakuta meets Bunny Girl. Puberty syndrome is a thing that's around, right? That's about it, right? But honestly, the characters are really awesome, and I think that they are one of the best points of the series, if people say that online in the internet and stuff. I already mentioned the story, right? Well, at least the story, we do get somewhat of a sequel, so I can't really say it was conclusive in extent. I like how at least it's paced out well enough. Everyone gets like 4 to 3 episodes for their arc. It was like, so Smai, Koga, Futaba, Nonoka, and then Kaede. It's structured pretty well. It's 13 episodes, I'll give it that. But I mean, yeah, the series overall is pretty good. Does it beat Zombieland Saga? That's a hard statement thing, because they both do good things really great in their own field. They're different series and genres, but I mean, I liked both of them. So anyways, enough about that. We'll talk about the movie and my theory for freaking, what's her name, Shoko, because she's just like off the side. So they announced the movie. It's called like, I think it's called like Rascal Does Not Dream of Dreaming Girl or something like that. Something like that. It's not exactly like Bunny Girl Senpai. If you see the poster, if you Google it, it features Shoko, the older Shoko, and Mai. So they play a huge main focus in the movie, I'm assuming, right? And there was this one interesting dialogue in this episode about Shoko that Futaba made towards Sakuta, right? About how Shoko could be like, what do you call it? Sakuta's the only one that sees Shoko, right? And the only time that Shoko, the older Shoko, actually does appear in the series is when Sakuta is distressed, right? So I'm assuming that maybe, like, so it has to do with Sakuta's puberty syndrome, right? Because we don't know exactly what it is. Or I don't recall what exactly his puberty syndrome is. But I'm assuming that, like, Sakuta's thing is that when he's in distress or when he's going through a conflict or, like, he's distressed, he creates this imaginary friend or imaginary person, which is Shoko, to help him sort out his feelings and help him and stuff like that. Because that's like the only time you ever see her, right? Like, so first time Shoko appeared in the series is when Sakuta was distressed about Kaide losing her memories, and she helped him out, and then she disappeared. And then the second time we see her again is when, of course, you know, he's distressed about Kaide regaining her memories, and then she shows up and helps him out in his time of need, and just walks away again. I'm just like, what's up with this character? Now, of course, the middle school version of her is really weird also. I have no explanation for that, because people have seen the middle school version. She came by Sakura's house to play with the cats, and Kaide, Futaba was there, and also Mai. So they see the middle school version of her, but not the older one. So I don't know what that is. But assumingly, from what I said, the movie will feature Sakuta and his puberty syndrome, and how maybe he conjures up Shoko as a person, or like some sort of figure to calm him down or help him when he's distressed and in need. And then, like, it's just like some kind of conflicting thing with Mai and Shoko. I have no clue. It's just a theory, but I mean, Mai has to play some huge role in it because she's in the poster, right? And of course, maybe it's sort of like Mai is the replacement for Shoko or something like that, because like back in the day before Sakuta met Mai, it's like Shoko was the person that if Sakuta was in need or distressed or stressed out of something, then he thinks about Shoko and then he comes over and helps him out. But now he has Mai, and then it's just like, I don't know, it's so fucking weird. Oh, I don't know. It's just a theory. That's all I'm thinking. Because in the end of this episode, they do tease like Shoko at the end with like in the beach or something like that. It's basically a tease for the movie. So much confusion. But anyways, that's for my thoughts for Bunny Girl Senpai. Honestly, it's a really great series. I'm really sad to see that I won't be able to watch any more of it until the movie comes out, which is like, I think 2019. We have a long ways till that. But yeah, I mean, the character's awesome, the story is great, and I thought that the pacing was really good till the end. The last episode just sort of like threw a lot of things into the open, and until we see the movie, I have no clue if I will feel resolved with Kaide being a different person and her whole existence just being erased, and then Mai and then Shoko being, who the hell is Shoko? Like, there's so many unanswered questions, and hopefully after the movie we get a second season, because that'd be pretty nice. So anyways, that's it for Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys have some thoughts, theories, or comments about Shoko or Kaide or whatever the movie's gonna be about, leave them. Well, don't spoil anything for one, but leave your theories in the comments below, and I'm gonna have to make the anime chart looking thing for next season. We'll see how that goes. I think after Bloom Into You happens, which is like tomorrow, and there's also the World of Colors anime. Well, yeah, expect the anime chart for next season to come up soon. So that's it for Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Hopefully you guys stay tuned when the movie comes out, and I'll make a video on that. So take it, guys. See you later, and matane.